welcome back, welcome back. So this video is going to be super quick. I just want to hop on here and share with you guys real quick how I got my son to sleep longer, what I had to do in order for me to get some sleep. And this was around the start of like 2 to 3 months. When he was 2 to 3 months. He is now officially 5 months. But when we first got home, of course, as a newborn baby, I didn't feel comfortable with him sleeping with me in the bed. So we tried some little tips and tricks and things that I saw online to try to get him to sleep longer. Of course, we also went with the advice of his his pediatrician to kind of figure out ways to kind of help him sleep. So let's just get right into it because I don't like to talk a lot. About 2 months or so, I noticed that he was picking up an appetite, like a really heavy appetite. So he was around that age. They're usually averaging about maybe 3 to 4 ounces or so, if I'm not mistaken, at about 2 months. Well, he was aiming for 5 to 6. Like he was the milk station was running out. Okay, so I talked to his doctor about it because I noticed that my son likes to eat. He can really eat. So I felt like that was the thing that was keeping him up or making him wake up so frequently, is because he was hungry, right? So I talked to his pediatrician, and he did give me the okay to put a little bit of oat or cereal in his milk, in his breast milk. So we did start trying that. We used about 1 little teaspoon, 1 to 2 little teaspoons in there in his milk to try to see if that would help. So it did kind of help a little bit, but he was still waking up very frequently wanting to feed. So I said, well, what else can we do? So I went online and I actually saw where there was a video saying the mom was talking about how she sleeps with her baby kind of under her. And I'll be posting a video real quick to show you guys how I sleep with him. I'll actually put him in the video so you guys can kind of see. But of course, I'm going to keep all this private. But you know, I'll show you. You'll get the gist of it. What I had to do, and this is what I do every single night with my son. Now, once he gets closer to 6 months or hits 6 months, he is going to go and sleep in his crib. Now, my son, we did attempt to try to put him in the crib when we first got home. When he was a newborn, he was cool with the bassinet, and he kind of slept in it, but he didn't stay in it long. Like I said, he would wake up frequently. Once he got to about 3 months, he was like, what is this? Like, I'm not sleeping in this. You got a whole big bed I can sleep in, and you put me in this thing with these little bears hanging down. You know, like he just was not feeling it. So the bassinet was basically like a waste. But he has like a 3-in-1 bassinet, crib, changing table type thing. So the bassinet was basically a waste. So it got to the point to where I had to like rig the changing table into a little bed, and he actually slept in that sometimes. But then it got to the point where he was like, what is this? Like I said, you got a whole bed. So he wouldn't sleep in that. So I started putting him in the bed with me, and that is where he slept. But I noticed he was still waking up, like hungry. So I'm like, what can I do? So after I saw this video where the young lady actually put her baby, kind of tucked him under her, laid on her side, and she actually fed him or breastfed him while she was sleeping, I was like, wow, that's a good idea. But you can't be a rough sleeper and do that, because not only will you crush the baby, but you're going to have all that boob in the baby's mouth, and then you rolling all over on the baby. Like you definitely have to be very cautious if you're going to attempt to do this with your baby. So I tried it. I am not a rough sleeper. I'm actually a very light sleeper, and I don't really reposition myself a lot when I'm sleeping. So I said this might work out for me, right? So I tried it. First night, amazing. Like the most sleep I got ever. Except for when I was pregnant with him. So he actually slept really good. What happened was he would wake up and he would kind of suckle. If he was tired of sucking, he would stop, you know. And he even got to the point to where he knew when he was ready to take it out. He would pull it out of his mouth. Like he would literally pull his head away from it and go right back to sleep, right up under me. So that is what I ended up doing to help me get sleep. Not only that, like I said, the doctor did approve for me to put oats in his milk, so I did try that, and it absolutely worked. I would ask your doctor or your pediatrician before you attempt to do that, but for my son, they did approve and say it was okay. Now, the oats will cause a little constipation if you start packing it in there. all right, if you do it every day. I was doing it every day because I thought like it would be okay, and it's only like 1 or 2 teaspoons. But when I noticed that my son got a little constipated, I did get some constipation drops, and I did kind of space it out. So I would do cereal like this day, and then this day I wouldn't do cereal or oats. So you do kind of have to be careful with that. But outside of that, with the oats and his breast milk and him being able to be up under me in that skin to skin contact at night, I feel like helped him sleep. So now what I'm in the process of doing is transitioning him over to his crib so that he doesn't really need that, because like he's getting more to eat. He's actually into baby food now. So we moved into baby food, but that is a very slow process. We didn't just dive into it. So he tries something new every week. So like 1 week it's peaches, the next week it might be sweet potatoes. And so that will kind of sit on his stomach a little bit better as well. And that way, once we transition him over to his crib, I think he'll sleep better at night. And I'm thinking about getting him a blanket and just kind of sleeping with it for a few days, and then so that it'll kind of smell like me, and then putting it in the crib with him, because I noticed that when we go to sleep and we sleep under my blanket, he will, when he's trying to get himself to go back to sleep, he will actually pull my blanket closer to him, which I think is so adorable. So hopefully that will help when we transition him over to his crib, to sleep in his crib and not the bed anymore. But it is coming to that point. So I just wanted to hop on here and share that with you moms to try that. I'm going to insert a video real quick. I'm going to insert a clip real quick of what I do with my son at night, so you guys can kind of see how I sleep with him. And like I said, it did help. I sleep pretty good. The only time I wake up with my son is to change him, because I have to change him frequently, you know, in little spurts throughout the night, so that he doesn't overwet his diaper and it comes out and it's on the bed and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I do get up and change his diaper. Plus, I don't want him sleeping with a soaked diaper. Like, who wants to, his diaper is like super soiled, and he's, you know, so I wouldn't want to sleep like that. So I don't want him to sleep like that. So that's really the only time I wake up. But yeah, so let's get right into it. Here's a clip of how I sleep with my son. I'm just going to show you. Of course, I'm not going to do a full demonstration, right? So my son, me and my son at night, he will sleep depending on what side. I switch sides each night depending on which breast. So for example, if I'm doing my right breast, he will be tucked under my left side. He's liking this because he knows it's about to go down. So I tuck him under my left side, and then of course I give him my right boob. So I lay like this with him. He actually breastfeeds while I'm sleeping, and I usually get a pillow and kind of tuck it under myself so I can elevate myself a little bit, and he goes right to sleep. So at night, if for example he is tired of feeding, he will just move his head back and kind of pull the nipple out of his mouth, and he'll just go back to sleep. But I still keep him underneath me just in case he wants to jump back on again. He can, but I've never rolled over on him. Like I said, you have to be really cautious when you're doing this. So basically he's like this, and I'm like this, and I'll get a pillow and kind of elevate myself like this. He's looking because he knows it goes down at night. But yeah, and so here you got the boob here. Now whenever you switch sides, of course you would just move him or her over to the other side, tuck the baby under the right side, give him the left boob, and boom bang bang, bing bang buddha bada, you good. Like, you know, so just basically that's simple, and that helps him sleep at night. So Bubby, you got anything you want to say? You good? Nothing? Nothing you want to tell the people? Power to the people. That's all he has to say, and that's all it takes. So until the next video that I was wanting to share with you guys was the 4 to 5 different workouts that I did for pre-transfer, So prior to my transfer. So that's going to be the next video. I'll be sharing that with you guys. I just have to get that together for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your girl. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. All 6 or 7 of y'all, my subscribers.